Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Productions channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another Friday review. Today I am here to review Weakened by Civilization, the brand new second album from Boston, Massachusetts based grindcore band Horrible Earth. Released today through Horror Pain Gore Death Productions, a label that I've been partners with since 2022, again last year. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, before I really get into my overall thoughts on Weakened by Civilization, you know what I have to do. I have to do a track listing rundown so I can tell you folks what are the songs are on this album, how many tracks are on this album, and what is the time length for this album. Since there's at least about a total of 17 tracks here, it clocks in at the length of 15 minutes and 46 seconds. Pretty typical of the length for this genre. So, these 17 tracks are beginning with Intro / Worth More Dead, Brainworms, Corrupting Morals, Pay for Your Hubris, Prayers Ring Hollow, Trepanning, Endless War 3, Surrounded by Obscenities. I think that's what it, let's look more closer. Yeah, Surrounded by Obscenities, because I'm looking at it from a little bit of a far view, and the type fonts, whatever, is a little bit, just a little bit tiny to an extent. And I got, the windows open, and the curtains and everything, so it's kind of glary. But I can still see a pretty decent for what it is. Alright, moving on. Let's get on to the next song, which is Jerk Oracle, Norcanistan, Extinction Through Violence, Jazz Odyssey, Pyrrhic Victory, Consume Microplastics, Modified Umbrella, Rats Eat Better Than Us, and then finally ending with the title track. So there it is. I've did the best I could to speed through these 17 tracks. So there it is. Alright, it's time to read from the notes, folks. So, Horrible Earth were formed in 2012, and so far have released one demo in 2013, several EPs, again been on plenty of splits, and of course, right now, 2 full-length albums under their belt. Of course, their debut titled Typical Human Behavior, which was originally released independently on May 3rd of 2016, then physically released on June 4th. And so now we are on their second full-length album, Weakened by Civilization. Since I am new to Horrible Earth, I am just going to base my thoughts from this album alone. And of course, I did not go backwards to their debut or any of their EPs, so this is just my honest thoughts from listening to this. So here I go. So what do I think of Weakened by Civilization? Honestly, I really fucking enjoy this. It reminds me of early Carcass, but fused with Napalm Death. Just really thick on the guitar tones, fast short bursts of chaos, and plenty of barks and shrieks. So of course, when it comes to the genre, and given the length of this album, no song is any longer than 2 minutes. So what you see is what you get when it comes to this kind of brutal assault. But this, of course, hits me in the right kind of ways. I'm gonna be honest, some recent grindcore bands can tend to be too guttural in their approach, almost bordering on gore grind, which is a genre that I don't mind but it's a genre that doesn't always hold my attention as most grindcore bands do, okay, or the genre itself. Not every single band within the grindcore genre is, let's say, blows my mind away, but I can at least tolerate it. But to kind of move on further, Horrible Earth to me just seems to sound a bit more old school in their attack, but it's presented in a more modern lens here. So overall, this was a very enjoyable album. Some standout tracks here that I can mention would be Narcanistan, Jerk Oracle, Extinction Through Violence, Corrupting Morals, Jazz Odyssey, and Modified Umbrella. I really do like the kind of riff that kind of comes in at Narcanistan. It's very kind of early Napalm Death to my mind, and of course a bit of Carcass, but these are just the two bands that come to my mind when I'm listening to some of these songs, especially the opening riff of Narcanistan. It just has that nice, thick, real rich, heavy kind of tone, and I just love it. It just sounds fat, and it's why I think makes the riff pop in this song, and that's why it sticks out at me. And of course, I love the little opening I don't know who's the asshole that obviously they put at the beginning of Jerk Oracle, but he's definitely comes across as an asshole, and I think that's why they titled it that way. And the lyrics and stuff, it's fucking perfect. And of course, Extinction Through Violence and some of these other ones. Jazz Odyssey, I like the kind of beginning. It's kind of a bluesy, kind of jazz, kind of orchestration, whatever that's kind of you're getting at the beginning. But it works. It's keeping in line with the humor that you would definitely get from a lot of the grindcore bands from the early days, like Carcass and Napalm Death. And that's why I really enjoy so much. So there you go, folks. There's my overall thoughts on Weakened by Civilization by Horrible Earth. My rating for this release is a 8 out of 10. I think that's what I rated it down. Yep, that's what I did. 8 out of 10. I had to kind of remind myself, since I put the ratings also on the notes and everything on this paper. See, now I'm exposing the paper on this fucking channel right now. I'm exposing myself. Oh no. But at least I can have fun by poking fun at myself for it. So there it is. Again, it's a pretty solid album from start to finish, and which is kind of a surprise because, again, I am very supportive since the fact that of me becoming partners with, again, Horror, Pain, Gore, Death Productions since, 2022. But not a lot of the releases have, let's say, stayed with me as much. This one, for some reason, has, and that is a good thing. So I hope that their debut is just as strong as this album right here. So there we go. Again, if you're one of those that have actually checked out Weakened by Civilization by Horrible Earth, again, if you have any thoughts, whether there be, positive or negative, you can leave those thoughts in the comment section below. But you've never checked this release out and you're kind of on the fence whether or not you might like this, again, I'm going to leave you a link to the Bandcamp page so you can check this out. And if you, of course, like the bands that I compared this album to, again, like Carcass and Napalm Death, especially early Napalm Death, then I can't see you not liking Weakened by Civilization by Horrible Earth. So there you go. There's my thoughts. I hope all of you enjoyed. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.